What? Breaking news! Oh my God, the football Jesus is retiring. Can I believe this? No, I can't. Now, well, first off, you really think he's retiring? What I mean is he really done coaching? And was this his idea? I don't know. If you watch that debacle Miami played against Wisconsin where they got absolutely road graded, as soon as that game was over, the athletic director at Miami put out a tweet basically saying this is unacceptable. We can't have this at Miami. We're better than this, blah, 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 blah. Basically pointing the finger at Mark Richt. And then 2 days later, of course, Mark Richt retiring. So we'll wait and see if this is an Urban Meyer retirement or if this is an actual real retirement. But here's the thing with Mark Richt, and I'm going to say some nice things about Mark Richt towards the end of this video maybe, but let me start with this here. I said when Mark Richt went to Miami, the $4 million a year youth pastor, the football Jesus, Mark Richt, when he went down there, I said a lot of things when he went down there, but one of the things I harped on when he went down there is that his Southern Baptist Bible-toting routine that he had in Athens that basically got him an extra 6, 7, 8 years in Athens, I said, that's not working on South Beach. It's just, I said, that's not going to work. First of all, they don't care about that at Miami. The coach of Miami's main job is to win football games, which Mark Richt straight up told you when he quit Georgia or got fired from Georgia, that wasn't his primary concern. Miami doesn't have that problem. Now, Miami's been bad for about 15 years now, but they don't put up with no crap from the coaches. You don't win, you're gone at Miami. They don't put up with this crap just because you tote a Bible around and show up on Paul Feinbaum 2 or 3 times a year and tell a parable about your dad and quote some Bible verses and stuff like that. At UGA, unfortunately, that buys you a couple extra years when you're a mediocre coach like Mark Richt. Now, that's Georgia's fault. And honestly, a lot of it is the Georgia fans' fault, the Georgia administration's fault, putting too much stock in this kind of stuff instead of winning football games. Gullible is what it is. Oh, he's a nice guy. Let's keep him around. And I said, that song and dance ain't going to work. You can't take a tent revival to South Beach as head coach of the Miami Hurricanes football program. You got to win games down there, and you got to win big-time games, or you're going to be run out on a rail. And something tells me that that's a lot of what is happening here. Now, we'll see if Mark Richt is going to coach again, or I don't know. That's not really the point. But, he throws the towel in, gives up, quits, retires, steps away from the program, blah, blah, all this kind of stuff. I mean, I'm kind of surprised. I thought it would be next year. Some Miami fans call in on the show all the time, and I see them in the comment section, and most of them that I know wanted Richt gone. And I said, well, they won't fire him this year. Usually coaches get fired after a second bad year, right? And this was a bad year. I mean, wasn't he 9-4 his first year, 10-3 last year, and then nosedived this year? And I said, well, he won the division. That's something Miami's never done. I'd probably buy him one bad year, which was this year. We'll see what he does next year. So I don't know. I don't know. I really don't know if he fired, quit, retired. Tough to say. Maybe more information will come out on this later, but I'm not surprised. The aw shucks Andy Griffith routine. The Gideon here. Let me leave a Bible in your dorm room. That kind of thing. Skip film study in lieu of Bible study. That kind of stuff was just never going to work at Miami, and here we are. So, Miami fans, who do y'all want? I don't know. Who's available? Lane Kiffin? If I was Miami, I would go after Lane Kiffin. I'm dead serious. He's been in the state of Florida for a few years now, so that would give him like a recruiting advantage, I guess, right? He knows the landscape down there. He's an offensive genius. Say what you want. Now, he's a dirtbag, no question about it. Well, he's a terrible human being. But I don't really think Miami cares about that. If that was the case, you'd keep Mark Richt, right? Miami wants to win. You want to win football games? Go out and get Lane Kiffin. Who else? Who else are you going to get? Who else are you going to get? I don't know. I don't know if Miami wants to hire an up-and-coming coordinator, right? I can't really see that happening. I see Miami going after an established coach. Lane Kiffin. Matt Campbell, Iowa State. I don't know. Lane Kiffin would be my first phone call, though, if I'm Miami. I don't know. You fans tell me, Miami fans can probably name a few other coaches who y'all might want down there. But, yeah, Mark Richt gone, throws in the towel, quits, Bible-toting routine, not working in South Beach. Yeah, no amount of prayer, unfortunately, for Mark Richt, no amount of prayer going to get you to survive at Miami with all these embarrassing losses that Miami is stacking up under Mark Richt here. So, yeah, he's gone. Now, on to the nice things about Richt here. Now that he's no longer really the enemy of UGA, not that he was necessarily the enemy before, but now look, if Mark Richt would have walked away from UGA and not coached again, I think his treatment, especially a year or two afterwards, would have been a little bit different. But we were recruiting against Mark Richt for a lot of the same players. Georgia's got several players on its team from the state of Florida and several from South Florida. Tyson Campbell, good morning. Sony Michelle was down there, but Rick brought him in, didn't he? Anyway, Isaiah McKinney. Anyway, the point is, we recruit the same areas. We always had the potential of meeting Miami in a bowl game or a playoff or something like that. So, as a Georgia fan, I mean, yes, there were some Georgia fans who were still in love with Mark Richt. Believe me, I hear from them every day. These Rick bots, right? Shouldn't have fired Rick. It is a mistake. Yeah, how's that working out? Anyway, but listen, Rick did a lot of great things at UGA, okay? He inherited a UGA program who really was an afterthought in the SEC, right? When Rick got there in 2001, we hadn't won the SEC since 1982. Long time, 19 years. So, almost as long as it's been since Tennessee won the SEC last time. Tennessee ain't won the SEC in 20 years. Yeah, so it had been 19 years for Georgia when he got there, and of course he won 2 SEC titles in his first, 4 years, 3, whatever it was. He won in 2002 and 2005, came close in 07, came close in 2012, of course, but too many disappointing seasons there at the end, and he was sort of a victim of his own success, right? He inherited a 7-8-9 win program, turned it into a team that was perennially winning, 10 games when he was there, and had some good seasons. Won the East multiple times, won some SEC titles, played in and won some big-time bowl games, some Sugar Bowls, things like that. But in the end, he was a victim of his own expectations. He raised the expectations at Georgia to a point that he was unable to attain. And it's worked out well for Georgia. I think, listen, you want to give Richt credit for elevating Georgia's program from where it was at when he got there to where it was when he left. Well, then you got to do the same thing for Kirby Smart. Kirby Smart has clearly elevated Georgia's program from where it was at when he took over to where it is now. Georgia was not considered one of the best 5-6 teams in America year in and year out under Mark Richt, and with Kirby Smart and the recruiting and the records, winning undefeated and winning the East 2 years in a row, an SEC title, a playoff win, a national title appearance. These are all things Rick never did, struggled to do. Yeah, you give Kirby credit for raising the program up from where it was when Rick left. You give Rick credit for what he did raising the program up out of the Ray Goff and Jim Donnan years, too. Rick gone. Didn't think I'd be making this video today, or this year, or this season. Thought it might be about a year from now when I'll be making this video. So anyway, I had to cut the Your Season Is Over video short this morning. As you probably noticed, if you already saw that video, I recorded the intro and then was getting ready to do the yell into the phone part, and I started getting all these alerts and messages and everything on my phone about the Mark Richt thing, so I had to put that on the back burner. I went ahead and uploaded what I had for that Season Is Over video. I'll elaborate more tomorrow on my feelings about Oklahoma and Notre Dame and making the playoff committee look like absolute idiots, which they did. I think I put something up at the end of that video earlier. But Notre Dame is a borderline top 15 team in terms of talent and who they would beat. And Oklahoma's a top 10 team, right? There's probably 7 or 8 teams that would beat Oklahoma. There's probably 12 or 13 teams that would beat Notre Dame. Most people knew this before yesterday's games, but I think it's pretty clear and pretty obvious now to anybody with half a brain or any football IQ at all, which is about half the people in this comment section. So anyway, Football Jesus, gone. I can't believe it.